This is the GME 1-month overview reading for December 2022. It's currently November 24th, 2022, 7:08 p.m. Eastern Time. And the price of GME at the time of this reading, 26.70. So the overall theme and behavior, we have multiple headwinds that are pushing GME lower here in December. I also find sometimes that the cruelty card there's like a hard resistance level that you might like keep bumping up against, like, you know, do some other stuff, go away for a bit, and then come back and bump up against it again, like a hard, like a solid, like strong one. Sometimes that happens. I'm advised not to open new positions, long positions, early in the month. Yeah, see, because this is usually the Empress card can often be an opportunity to open up a long position in the midst of a fluctuating downward trend. But in any case, so it's crossed with an important important trough or bottom on a year-to-date chart probably, and not the lowest low, but an important bottom or trough. And out of the decline that takes us into that trough, there's a fast sudden move higher, marking the end of the decline and forming that trough. It looks like that fast sudden move higher towards the end of the month really takes us to a higher high, either at the end of the month or in the following month of January. I just did the 2023 reading. I got to tell you guys, there's a price level spike. Like, we should see $60 in January. So like what I'm looking for here is a good opportunity to get in on the long side. It looks like our lowest low is on the 16th, and then we probably revisit it on the 22nd. If we don't revisit it, it still ends up being the best opportunity, probably because we don't get scared out when we buy in on the long side on the 22nd. Like, if you buy too early, there's another point at which where you bought might be the lowest point, but there might be something coming in front of you that would scare you out, and so the better opportunity is after that event takes place, if that makes sense. And it looks like maybe this would have scared us out. So opportunity to open up the long position GME here around the 22nd. Behavior around the highest high for December. There's a crest that we sell down to and through a support level on a 1-month chart, and we do a U-shaped reversal below that support level, come back and reuse it as support. Also moving into that crest, we have a rally that increases with momentum moving forward into the crest, at least on a 1-day chart in that case. Behavior around the lowest low for December, we have a near overbought peak or crests that we have a sell-off from, and that sell-off takes us down with a sharp decline down to the lowest low. And then, like I said, out of that lowest low, there's a fast sudden move higher, marking the end of a period of decline. Interesting. Okay, so let's take a look at October, see how we did. So this is October 2022. This vertical line's where it starts, vertical line's where it ends. We have a high on the 3rd. Looks like we're off by a day. Well, it's on the cusp of the 3rd and the 4th. And then on the 7th, we have another high, it looks like, off by a day there. No, matter of fact, no. So we went all the way down to here. Right, there's that trough. And then we had a significant move to the upside. Where'd it go? 7. Yeah, see, so the decline continued all the way down and then pushed up. So that is technically a high, and then there's another decline. I think it's probably off by a day there. That's my sense. On the 14th, looks like we're off by a day. It was on the 13th, and then the 20th. oof, really off there. Well, we've got the low on the 20th working out in our favor, but that high is definitely off a couple days. Looks like it was on the 18th, so we're off by 2 days there. Low on the 20th, we did capture another low on the 21st, 25th, and a high on the 25th, 26th. Low on the 24th, high on the 25th. And then I may have missed this high here. I mean, this was very clearly standing out, but based on the state of mind I was in, I think I probably didn't catch that one as a high there. I would have marked it. So not my best work. Definitely was a lot going on when I did these October readings, but even so, still pretty solid. We called quite a few of the highs and lows there. Let's see, best trade opportunity. All the trade opportunities were like at the end of the month. Interesting. And to position oneself here on the 26th in both directions. Ah, okay, and look at that. So if we position ourselves at the resistance level that we met on the 26th, or sorry, the 26th, right? The Princess of Swords. The 26th resistance would have made a good opportunity for both selling a long position, if we bought a long and a short, like a straddle or strangle there on the 26th, we would have been able to make money on the high side and on the low side. So pretty solid, guys, pretty solid. And it says in completion the rally right there with a trade opportunity at the beginning of the day on the 28th. So that would have been a pretty solid trade. Maybe if I'd seen that, I would have waited a day and it would have been an even more solid trade. Alright, so that's October. Not my finest work, but still pretty good, especially when we take into consideration that the October reading was created on September 3rd, 2022. That's this reading. Alright, so back to December. So on the first, we have a sideways fluctuation with a bearish trend, and it precedes a rally. Looks like out of a decline on the second, there's a notable move from the bottom of a range to the top of a range, and then that move continues. It's a fast move up as well. It can be easily missed, but it covers a lot of ground there on the second. On the fifth, there's a significant move higher as well, standing out again on the scale of a 1 month chart. But this move probably is more over time throughout the day rather than just like a fast, like big move. And I'm advised to open up protection at a crest there on either the 5th or 6th. It might be telling me to open up protection early in November, or late in November. Let me take a look. Okay, yeah, so the protection should have been purchased late in November, and I'm advised not to open up a new position here around the 1st, even though I may be tempted to do so. On the 6th, we have a significant decline on a 1 month chart from a peak or crest that stands out on a 1 month chart, and that takes us to a trough towards the looks like we go from a high on the 5th, 6th to a low on the cusp of the 6th, 7th to another high on the 8th. On the 8th, we rally into a key resistance level, and then we decline with consecutively lower spikes up on the way down. We hit a trough towards the end of the day on the 8th, and then on the 9th, let me see, on the 8th there's a trough on the 8th with a period of volatility with a sharp decline in there, and then on the 9th we have a significant low there on the 9th, and out of that low there's a big move higher out of oversold territory. So there'll be a prominent reversal standing out on a 1 month chart there around the 9th. Looks like we come to a higher point early in a higher price level on the 12th early in the day. There's sideways rotation and then a fast sudden move higher ending the period of sideways rotation. Looks like that fast sudden move higher carries over until the 13th, possibly even into the 14th. It may pause on the 13th and then there's an even higher move on the 14th, but that's pretty bullish from the start of the 12th into the towards the end of the day on the 14th. A lot of ground is covered there. A lot of ground to the upside. Sorry, a lot of ground off of that peak or crest there on the 14th. That'll be a prominent peak or crest for the month. We may bump up against resistance again, like multiple times there on the 14th, 15th. After a big move sending out on a 1 month chart to the upside, but the decline starting around the 15th, early on the 15th, it looks like first off, it's an easily missed peak opportunity and peak there. It's around the 15th. It's either on the 14th or the 16th or the 15th. I'm gonna go and say it's around the 14th, 15th. There's an easily missed peak, and then after multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance, and then there's a strong decline. Like a lot of ground is covered, a big decline there to meet a low. We break through multiple support levels on a 1 month chart. There's also a swing trade opportunity there, guys. So at the peak or crest on the 14th, 15th, in the midst of a rally that increases with momentum moving forward into the day, there should be multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance around that high, and then I would open up a short position, hold that short position until the 16th, probably end of day, where we would see a prominent low. It's possible that the 19th is a lower price level than the 16th, but my sense is that most likely the 16th is the lowest price level. And then we probably gap up on the 19th or rally up on the 19th a little bit. We'd also want to sell that short position on the 16th if I didn't mention that, but we'd probably gap up or rally up on the 19th, creating a overbought peak or crest there, and we sell down to and through we sell down to another prominent trough. So there's like a high and a low there on the 19th. We go from the lowest low to a higher price level to another new low. Or not new low, but it's a new local low because we create a new local high. What do I mean by local low and local high? So this is a local high, this is a local high, this is a local low, this is a local low, this is a local low, right? This is a highest high, this is a lowest low, but these are prominent lows that stand out. These are prominent highs that stand out. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. And with that said, so a bit of a price swinging kind of going on here between the 16th and the 19th. And then we have sideways price swings on the 20th. Not always bullish, but often bullish. It looks like we'll start out of a trough on the 19th. And a trade opportunity in the midst of that trough to open up a long position, bullish price swings on the 20th, and then a peak or crest on the 21st after a notable move higher to reach for a distant resistance level. There's a peak or crest there that I would close that long position early in the day on the 21st, and then possibly open up a short position, it looks like. Yeah, okay, so open up a short position early in the day on the 21st, and then there's a decline between the 21st and the 23rd, like probably the 22nd, but it could be a bit wider. There's a significant decline there. It'll stand out on a 1 month chart, and that should bring us to the same bottom that we saw either on the 16th or on the 19th. The 19th may be the low. I'm getting that the 19th, we'll identify that at the end of the reading. And so do we revisit it at the lowest low on the 22nd? Yes. On the 23rd, there's a rally out of a trough, another trough on the 22nd. There's a rally out of it along a diagonal trend line, breaking through horizontal resistance and meet a secondary resistance, and then pulling back to somewhere between those two price levels, and there should be a crest towards the early part of the 23rd. A lot of price movement covered over the weekend. Yeah, a lot of price movement covered over the weekend to the downside. So we gapped down we gap down, and then there's a decline that increases with momentum moving forward into the day on the 27th, or there's like a peak or crest at the start of the 27th, and we decline from that with increasing momentum moving forward into the day. My guess is we gap down. No, so there's a lot of price movement from, okay, I see. There's a lot of price movement to the upside, coming out of that opportunity on the 22nd. That marks an opportunity to open up a long position. There's a lot of price movement to the upside on the 23rd out of that trough from the 22nd, 23rd. And then looks like it all the way to the weekend, and then we may actually have like a peak on the early on the 27th, followed by a decline that increases with momentum moving forward into the end of the day. On the 28th, there's a notable move higher, pushing the upper end of a range higher, and then on the 29th, we have what is most likely the highest high of the month. It's either the highest high of the month, or if it's not, it doesn't really matter, because there's a higher high in January than there is in December. And so there's a peak or crest there. Looks like we rally pretty hard starting early in the day on the 29th, and come to a peak or crest towards the end of the day, probably the highest high for the month thus far, or very close, or and then I'm also advised there not to open up to start any new positions. I mean, may be tempted to chase the rally there, but I'm advised not to open up any new positions because we have a failed attempt. We create support out of resistance temporarily there, and then we have a sharp decline off of that price level to the downside on the 30th. But like I said, January's got a higher high. Does January have a higher price level for GME than December of 2022? Does January 2023 have a higher price level for GME than GME's price level in December 2023? Yes. Okay, so we're going to do some price level Q&A, and for those of you that are interested, the December 1 month overview shuffle that I'm about to play was created on November 20th, 2022. This is the GME 1 month overview reading for December 2022. It's currently November 19th, 2022, approximately 10:10 p.m. Eastern Time. And one share of GME currently is $27.60 at the time of this reading. All right, let's see. So we already answered that there's a higher price level in January than there is in December. Is GME's December highest price level? Sorry, is GME's highest price level in December 2022 taking place on December 29th, 2022? No. Is GME's highest price level for December 2022 taking place on the 7th of December 2022? Yes. Okay, so the highest high is there on the 7th. Well, that would make sense because it's bearish, but this is a pretty strong, this will be a prominent high. Is the high at the end of December 2022 for GME shares the same price level as its highest price level taking place on December 7th, 2022? Yes, I got that maybe card, which is usually what happens when you get like they're the same price level. It's like a flat. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, and then is GME's lowest price level of December 2022 taking place on December 16th, 2022? Yes. Is GME's lowest price level for December 2022 taking place on December 19th as well? Yes. Does GME's lowest price level take place more than twice? Does GME's December lowest price level take place more than twice in December 2022? Oh, it's a yes, okay. Does GME's December lowest price level take place on the 22nd of December 2022? Yes. So that whole week there's got some funky lows going on, and it would make sense. We've got Mercury retrograde approaching, so volatility is going to get higher and higher. And with that said, let's see if we can identify actual price levels here. This is very new, guys, to identify actual price levels. Very new to Eso-Meta. It's probably the newest portion, so keep that in mind. There's not a huge track record. Do we see? Does GME shares price level reach $30 in December 2022? No, I think it's because it reaches it in November. Yes, it reaches it in November. $30. Okay, does GME have a higher price level than $30 at any time in the month of December 2022? Yes. Does GME's price level meet $40 at any time in the month of December 2022? No. Does GME's price level meet $35 at any time in the month of December 2022? I got a maybe there. Interesting. So it might be like right on the cusp. Does GME's price level meet $35 on more than one occasion, on more than one day in the month of December 2022? Yes. Those maybe cards usually speak that way to me. Does GME's price level reach $35 on the high around the 7th of December 2022? Got a unicursal. Does I'm going to do that again. Unicursal is an interesting card to get. I got to know twice. Okay. Does GME's price level meet $35 around the crest on the 14th of December 2022? Yes. Is GME's price level higher than $35 on the peak around the 7th of December 2022? No. All right, so I think probably the 14th. So the highest high is either on the 7th or the 14th. I know we identified the 7th, but there's some conflicting. It looks like we revisit it. That's probably what it is. So like the highest highs on the 7th and roughly the 7th and roughly the 14th. And then as far as a price level, does GME's price level meet $22 at any point in December 2022? Yes. Does GME's price level meet $20 at any point in December 2022? It's a maybe. Maybe for that. Interesting. Does GME meet? Is GME's price level around the low? GME's price level in December 2000. Does GME's lowest price level? How do I say that? Does GME have a lower price level than $22.50 at any moment in December 2022? No. Does GME's price level meet $20.50 at any moment in December 2022? I got maybe again, just like last time. Does GME meet $20 more on more than one day in December 2022? Yes. Does GME meet $20 on the 16th of December 2022? Yes. Does GME meet $20? Does GME's price level meet $20 on the 19th of December 2022? No. Does GME's price level meet $20 on the 22nd of December 2022? I got that truce card, another maybe, so that's pretty solid. Yeah. Does GME's price level meet $20 on the 20th of December 2022? No. Does GME meet a price level of $20 on the 21st of December 2022? Yes. There you go. All right, guys, and that's GME for December 2022. Let me know what you think by hitting that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Most importantly, my friends, support the channel, support the universe, support evolution of mankind by supporting this channel, my friends. We are spreading the news that anything is possible, that you can predict the stock market by the hour using tarot cards and get consistent 98% accuracy. Why? Because it's infinity, my friends. So let's spread that. The speed at which humanity evolves has to do with how quickly it can come to believe the information we've already come to know, guys. I mean, many of us know it, we just don't believe it. It's infinity. You can do it if you can figure out how to do it. And that's the key. You just got to figure out how to do it. With that said, guys, I'll see you on the next one.